talk about the Miami Heat, and we can go right into the offseason outlook. We can go right into it. The Heat were what, a 7th seed initially, then they lost that game in the play-in, became the 8th seed, and then of course they went on to make a run through the Eastern Conference. Nothing to hang your head about if you're the Miami Heat or if you're a Miami Heat fan. I mean, they beat some good teams along the way. Of course, Giannis did get hurt, but you still got to play the game in the playoffs. You still got players around Giannis in case that he didn't perform as well, and he did play. So there's that. Then you played who they played in the second round? I forget.
The Knicks took us to
Knicks.
6.
Yeah, the Knicks, who were a good team. They weren't laying down for nobody. Then of course you played Boston in the semifinals or in the conference finals, and then the NBA finals, of course, losing to the Nuggets. So Miami is in an interesting predicament in terms of like if they would have lost in the first round, their offseason would have been looking a little bit different in terms of like how they feel about the season. And then now to go from the play-in to the NBA finals and lose, it's tricky because like, do you like Gabe Vincent? Do you like Max Strus? Do you like Caleb Martin? Or how well do you like these players, knowing that you have Bam, who played very well in the NBA Finals, Jimmy, who kind of tapered off. I don't know if he had an injury. He probably won't say he had an injury, but he was he looked exhausted. He looked exhausted every game, man. Like he just did not have it. The body language from Jimmy Butler from like the Boston series compared to like this series was just night and day. It was like he didn't even look engaged with the series. Like I think he needs somebody to like poke at him like Grant Williams did in the Boston series. He just didn't have it for this series. But Miami, I mean, they were rumored to get Dame Lillard. I'm an advocate for that. I don't know how they make that money work because Jimmy making a lot of money, Bam making a lot of money. How does that math work? But don't let you go, man. Miami Heat all season. What does that look like? And what is just your thoughts overall on their season as it ended yesterday?
Damn. And this is why I told Took earlier. Yes, I did see Took again, actually in Dallas, Texas. That's crazy. And I told him, I was like, damn, I forgot. I have notes about Miami. So I'll try to be as brief and remember what I said on there. And I kind of do. Ladies and gentlemen, I hear the rumors about Damian Lillard coming. And to your point, Savage, how do we make the money work? And that Took has mentioned the new CBA. You're talking Dame, Jimmy, and Bam. At one point, all three of these guys together will be taking $150 million in a season. What team will you be able to build around them, knowing what you just saw from the Nuggets and knowing what it's going to take to get there around them? It's going to be very, very challenging. And so, to me, I'm not all in for Damian Lillard. Am I against it? I'm not against it. Who the hell would be against getting Damian Lillard to your team? However, I just don't think it is a smart move. Now, I got a lot to say, so I hope y'all are all right. The first thing, I'll preface everything I say by saying this. I don't know if everyone saw the interview with Jimmy and Kyle, but there's still this energy of those two being really good friends. And don't get me wrong, and first of all, hats off to Kyle Lowry. When it was time, and he is always good on the road, always good on the road in the playoffs. Home, road, different. And he proved to me he's good. I don't know if he's worth 30 millions, but good. So I will say that. So I'll take my time. I will. Okay. So think about the new CBA, what we need. Let's be honest here. Yes, we may have missed out on scoring, but they score more points because they out-rebound us. We're missing length. We're missing bodies, okay? And so, if I could be Patrick Riley, and then sometimes they call me Pat, but sometimes I go by Sheedy, for this team, here's how I would start. One, you get Brook Lopez or Bobby Portis. I'll take either one of them.
Perfect.
Either one of them. I would prefer Brook Lopez because if you think about how Brook Lopez can be utilized in the zone defense that we have, and you would necessarily have Bam and him, pretty much you could probably do like a 2-1-2 or even a 3-2 defense and let the rest of it just figure itself out, right? And so we need to get Brook Lopez, hopefully for the mid-level exception. That's my goal, Okay. Now let's move on to Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, love you. And I could see us trade. I would like for you to get traded to a team that beat us. These are all teams that beat us. The Atlanta Hawks. Why did I say the Atlanta Hawks? Because DeJounte Murray's contract, ladies and gentlemen, ain't about $18 million. Give me DeJounte Murray, and they got that other center that comes off the bench. I don't know. Him. Bring him as well. So now we have 3 centers or 3 bigs at least to go around with.
Yeah, y'all really had no backup big at all. Like it was
Cody Zeller came in and stunk up the court.
Oh my God, Cody Zeller, like what was that? He missed like a rebound or something. Or it was something that was like, bro, why is he playing? Just get this old ass man off the court.
In game 5. And I think it was in the end of the third or start of the fourth quarter. Timeout, Spo. Got his ass right back out.
I was like, because it was like plenty of time left. Y'all was right back in the game. And it was like, it was like a 8-0 run, something crazy. I don't know. But it was just like, dude, get out of the game, please.
Yeah, and like we have another big, Yurt Severin is there, but for some reason we have not developed into the way that we want him yet. So that's my quick fix, right? Now, I am not against. And here's how I'm about to open up a can of worms here. Tyler Hero's got to go. Okay? Tyler Hero has to go because Tyler Hero still has value to me in this league. And we can find a contract that can kind of match. Watch what I tell y'all this. Okay? You can pair up Tyler Hero and maybe Caleb Martin for a player that we could have traded for before he got traded.
Y'all say it. Come on in my world.
I'm not going to go down Bradley Beal Street. I don't want that. Okay? But I will holler at the other tarantula, the spider, Mitchell, from the Cavs.
I ain't going that far.
He's only making $30 million.
And there's some smoke around it about them, like because New York is sniffing around.
New York is sniffing. Exactly.
That's weird to me. I mean, it's not weird because I didn't like the pairing of Garland and Donovan a lot as far as like defensively anyway. But that is interesting. I will say that I do agree with that. It's interesting.
Yes. So if the Cavs can open up to the Knicks, they can open up to the Heat. Now, well, hold on. Let's go back to who was you about to say?
Oh, my boy out there in Dallas.
Oh, Kyrie.
There's smoke around that too?
Yes, there is.
Look, I got a whole look. Just Sheedy.
I will.
He's gonna come to me.
I don't. That man said 4 years, $200 million. And I said, oh hell to the no. And my other part about Tyler Hero is he can be traded to a Pacers team to get Buddy Hield and someone else. But another team that I can think of, again, I'm looking at this in a sense of I need players that can score. Players I'll be healthy to score, and a little bit of size. So if I'm already getting Brook Lopez, if I'm already trading for whatever his name is, right? I would actually serve Tyler Hero on a platter to the Utah Jazz to get Lori for marketing, or I would serve Tyler Hero up to the Kings. The Kings get back to me. I've just mentioned Malik Monk earlier. Coming off the bench would be a heater. Keegan Murray and Davion Mitchell. Now, this is what I would like. Will these things work? Never does for Sheedy. However, I just don't believe a Damian Lillard at $60 million with the new CBA is going to be able to draw what we can now. Kyrie Irving. As long as he's not looking for 4 years, $200 million, that's something different. I thought about Trae Young. Trae Young's contract continues to go up and escalate as well. And I don't need someone with bad hair down in Miami not doing well and doing turnover.
Shit, you ain't even got hair.
And that's why my hair is gone, because it was bad. Okay? So that's my wish list. I know we need a big name to drop. I know Pat is going to give us a big name. I get that. However, I would be okay with getting a big name such as Donovan Mitchell, who's only making $30 million, which is a disgrace and a slap in the face, if you ask me, when you got his counterpart, Rudy Gobert, collecting $40+ million to do what for the Minnesota Timberwolves? And I would be the Knicks game plan against the Cavs and shutting down Donovan Mitchell will never be the same as it would have been for Donovan Mitchell being with Eric Spoelstra and the Heat. That is why I mean, we all saw how Donovan Mitchell got shut down against the Knicks. I hear that. But the ball movement we had was very different than what JB Bickerstaff has over there in Cleveland. So that's what I will say. But again, we have to address length. And if Brook Lopez is available, Bobby Portis is available, these players have done dirt to us in the paint, rebounding, and Brook Lopez, even more specifically, hitting that corner three or that like little side 45-degree angle three as well. But I concede.
Hey, Sheedy, Dame is only 45. He'll be 45 next year. And then the year after that is 48.
When he get to 60?
Let's see. He gets to 60 in 25-26.
And that's when all of them hit it.
But if you're Miami, you could. I mean, I think y'all window is like 2 years ish.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy's on the decline. I would take my chances with that 2-year window. I would, and then at that $60 million, you could trade Damian Lillard potentially again to a contender who just want 1 year of Dame, whoever that is down the road. Maybe it's LA Lakers like down the road. Yeah, as a 1 year, we'll eat $60 million, and he off our books, after that year. So you could potentially have him for 2 years and somehow make it work. I think that Riley would just have to be okay with buying into getting, that much money invested in 3 players, at least at that time. I'm not sure when the new CBA kicks in. And then I think it's what's around those players that matters the most. Like, are y'all going to develop Jovic, who's from Serbia as well, like Jokic is? I liked him coming into the draft, but he got no tick at all. And I didn't see him, I feel like, ever. I don't know if you did. I never saw him. I think y'all got to develop the young players, which is why I think that y'all should probably trade for a player that doesn't have high value, but is a young player on a rookie deal. Just as an example, Zaire Williams from the Grizzlies. I would buy, I don't know what it would cost to get him. He don't have any value right now. If I were y'all, a player of that ilk, not necessarily Zaire himself, but like a player that's disappointing. Chris Duarte from Indiana Pacers. He's older, but that's a player that is like had a very bad time his first 1 or 2 years in the league, and then take a chance on those players who were lottery players and see if they could perform better in those situations. That's what I would do, paired with Jimmy, Dame, if he comes, and Bam. That's what I would do.
So you're on a Dame train, gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, I've been on Dame train, man. We back on it. We back, man. We back, man. We back. What you mean?
Not to put out the Lakers on you.
Yes, man. Dame train. Let's get it.
Of course, I'm on the Dame train, but the talk with Josiah Johnson really helped with that. And what I mean by that is that I really had to go and look at different kind of contracts and things. That is why I brought up Kyrie Irving. With Kyrie Irving, what he's eligible to do, which is very important, is let me pull it up real quick. So he's eligible to sign a 2-year, $78 million extension until June 30th. After June 30th, if he ain't signed nothing, then he's an unrestricted free agent for the most part. He's able to sign a 5-year, $272 million contract with the Mavericks.
He's 32 years old.
Ain't no way in the hell the Mavericks gonna give him that money.
I was like, I think he's 32. He's like a year older than us. So I'm like,
yeah, he's like 31, 32. So he Mavs.
Wait, can you say that again? 5-year what?
272.9.
Nobody give him that. Nobody's giving him that. Nobody.
That's damn near $30 million.
Again, bear with me. So if not, the max he can sign will be a 4-year, $201 million. So that's pretty much $50 million, right? If I am Patrick Riley, I am doing anything I can to get Kyrie Irving in a Miami Heat uniform. I say that because, one, they're a match made in heaven. Miami Heat don't like playing in the regular season. Neither does Kyrie Irving. Number two, with these new CBA rules, these owners are going to have to get creative. Kyrie Irving, come on over here. We'll give you $25 million a year, but every home game you play, we'll give you a % of ticket sales, whatever. This is how contracts are going to have to be working. You're going to have to work out something. But the Miami Heat they've been too close for too long. Even in the bubble, what, 2-3 years ago, Miami NBA Finals lost. Back in the NBA Finals again. And where do you see what you got? A team full of undrafted players who played their hearts out.
They needed scoring bad. That's
and this season, Sheeta, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was a season for two of the players to show up. One was Tyler Hero, who showed up during the regular season, and Victor Oladipo, who was nowhere near to be found. Those are two players making bukus of money you can get off the list. But the Miami Heat, based on what they paying those two players, Duncan Robinson and probably a couple other players, you can get somebody like a Kyrie Irving for a good price. Now I know Kyrie out here saying I want 40 mil, blah blah blah. You're gonna have to look yourself in the mirror and realize, hey, how much longer I got in this game? What am I playing for? It's pretty much when Carmelo Anthony was a free agent and he had to play either. Do you want to go to New York for money, or do you want to go to, ironically, the Miami Heat to win a championship? He chose the money. Cool. Kyrie, do you want the championship, or do you want the money? But if they don't do that, Cheaty, I think you're in a good position, because you still two players, one player averaging 20 points a game didn't play a single game in the NBA Finals. Victor Oladipo, two-way player, not missing in the NBA Finals. Those are two players who could have made a difference. So y'all right there. Brook Lopez, you brought him up. That was a player I was going to bring up. Perfect example. If y'all can get him, cool. But at this point, you can't go into next season with Bam Adebayo as your starting center. Bam Adebayo, the way he played this entire postseason, to me, is a point forward, which is not taking nothing away from him. I saw Ben Simmons, I saw Giannis, I see all these different players in him this past postseason. And cool. Coach, let's elevate that. How can we make that better? But he don't need to be guarding, Jokic, if, worst case to be this was the next NBA Finals we see again.
On top of that, too, real quick about the centers, we're seeing the game shift back towards centers again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Jokic is huge, Embiid is huge. Who else? We've seen Jared Allen, Mobley's big, Jaren Jackson Jr. He's a 7-footer. He's big. So you like Bam is great. He played great in the final. He's 6'7". He's a great defender. He's a DPOY candidate probably for the next couple of years, but you can't count on him to be a facilitator on offense, score 18 points, and then also defend the best players. That's not realistic for him. We see Draymond do something similar at a similar size, but he's not afforded to have offensive possessions where he's taking 30 shots or 12, 15 shots. That's not going to happen.
And I like what they're doing, because he's still able, his mid-range. He was doing this damn thing yesterday with the mid-range. So you got something there. But if you are able to bring in a Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, somebody, a Miles Turner, somebody that can just stand in the court, because when you started Kevin Love, you won. That should show you something right there. So upgrade that, upgrade a couple fours. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with top 10 Lowry. I'd like to see him back. But he's not worth, I guess, like the 30 million, whatever he's getting paid right now.
He showed his ass in the playoffs.
Boy, my boy, top 10 showed his great yesterday.
He's under contract again next year. Yeah.
He had a sequence where he laced 2 threes. I was like, shit, that man pulled that.
Yeah. Boy, he pulled like Steph. I mean Steph Lowry, but nah, just y'all literally right there. And I think Pat Riley is to the point where now it's like, all right, let me go ahead and do my Pat Riley. Let me go and get on my, ironically, Jerry West-ish and see what we can turn up. Y'all finna have a fun offseason, bro.
Yeah.
But y'all right there, y'all are the best team in the Eastern Conference. Regardless of y'all coming to the playoffs 1-8. Y'all beat the Celtics. Y'all beat the Bucks.
Yeah.
More than once. You know what I'm saying?
And that was with undrafted players, bro. Imagine if y'all Oladipo was hurt. He got hurt early on in the playoffs. Tyler Hero, I think he could have contributed. I don't know why they activated him in the first place. He wasn't gonna play. I would just, if he ain't playing, sit your ass, just wear your street clothes, dude. I don't really get that. But to Cap's point here, I do think Bam is a 4. I like Bam at the 4, pairing him. You can make matchups and put him at the 5 when you need him to, but I think naturally he's a 4, and I think that his game will develop better once he develops that. You saw the mid-range jumper, he was lacing it. I want to see him step out a little bit more to knock a knockdown 3 to keep the defense honest with him, because we've seen him attack the basket and be successful with floaters and layups and dunk. He can be successful, and I think he hasn't quite reached his ceiling just yet. Who we saw in the finals is, I think, indicative of who he can be and grow into as time gets on. I think he's 25 years old, 24, 25. He still got plenty of time to grow.
Yeah, still young.
He's still young, man. He gonna keep growing. But I like him better as a 4 than a 5, at least for right now, knowing what I just saw in the NBA Finals against, again, the best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. But I don't want to force him to defend a big center every night, and then pair him with Jimmy, and they have no other scoring or like true options for scoring buckets. Which I think, to Took's point, Kyrie will be a perfect fit. I'm actually leaning towards that now, even with his off the court quote unquote issues that people bring up.